Hi, it's Derek Chambers here again at the Blank Canvas here on Blank Canvas TV, and I'm with the amazing Miss Sandra Dee. How you doing today?
All right, you can call me Miss Sweet or Sandra Dee Sweet.
Miss Sweet, she said you can call her Miss Sweet. She said wants to have a personal relationship, but you don't got to call her Miss Sweet. So tell us a little bit about yourself. You're from Dallas, or where are you from?
Originally born and raised in Dallas.
Wow.
And who is Sandra Sweet? I am an entrepreneur, I'm an actress, I'm a playwright, I'm a screenwriter. I do it all, a jack of all trades and stuff. I love writing plays. Journalism has been a gift for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
And so that started here in Dallas. Roughly what area, like what high school did you go to?
High school was Justin F. Kimball, and
Oh,
yeah, Kimball, Kimball. We always been like, not the underdogs, but everybody loved to see us play football. Carter and Sock was our ultimate revenge competition.
It's funny, the last interview I had, that's what school he went to Sock, and my family, I didn't go to Carter, but my family went to Carter, so, I definitely know what you mean about those battles.
Okay.
So question, what was it about at what point in your childhood did you kind of start on this journey as far as being a writer?
Well, my daddy, Charlie Sweet, his best friend is Rudy Ray Moore and ZZ Hill. He's been in the music business all his life. I used to watch him. I love the entertainment field. I was always after school or during school, go to the stage and watch them do plays and stuff. I got started from there, interested in that. And I grew up in front of the TV. I love the TV, and my mother was a movie goer, and I kind of picked up from there and wanted to do, that's something I wanted to be in the movies one day.
Was there any particular movies that stood out? Or when I say movies, I'll give you an example. For me, I didn't realize that a lot of the movies that I used to watch a lot had to do with young men like me, because I'm from Dallas as well, and I'm in a single parent household, and just a lot of confusion about things, but I would live kind of through movies. It was like that was my getaway, was to watch a movie. Was there certain movies like you that kind of felt like it took you to another place that made you, inspired you to want to get involved with it?
I love black movies. I was inspired by all of those, Jim Kelly, Fred Williamson, Three the Hard Way, especially Bruce Lee. I loved his movie. I loved the Coffee, all of them. My mother used to take us to Chris Theater and just leave us there all day. And I was just capturized by that. It was like our second home. Some mothers, they drop you off with your grandmother, they drop you off here. My mother dropped us off at the movie theaters. So it kind of inspired me, motivated me more to push that.
And that's what I love about movies, is that, again, one of the reasons why I'm dealing with interviews is because what I want to do is hear stuff like that, because what we as writers, because I write as well, there's a bunch of things I do I haven't really told the show all the things that I do, because it's not about me. But we have to remember those things when we're writing, how we felt when we saw certain movies capture us. And sometimes you might write a good story, but sometimes in my personal journey over this next year is I want to go back to when I was that young man and what caught my attention. So some of these movies I go back and watch and say, what was it about that at that time in my life that made me gravitate towards that? What was the message behind it? Not just another cool movie, but what's something that I will turn and rewind? Because was there a movie that you used to watch over and over again as you got to a certain place? What was one of those movies? Just give me one.
The Wizard of Oz, and I like what Oprah said. When she was young, we didn't see black people in the movie. When they came out, we said, black people's on. Oprah said, black people's on, black people's on. So it's back in, I like those Marilyn Monroe. I like all of those black and white color movies then. And of course, that was another thing our mother did, put on the cartoon, put on movies and stuff like that. But like I said, this is something just in me since I was a little girl to do theatrical and movie. And it gave me the strength, and that was my second issue, having confidence to know this is part of my life. But of course, that's your question, The Wizard of Oz with Judy Garland, and repeatedly, because you're talking about a child's little, all these great other movies hadn't came in effect yet that the actors we got today. So I lived off back on Pam Grier, all of those black and white films or black films and stuff like that. And then again, being in theater, you got to have one of your selective, and mine have always been theater in school and elementary. So
with that said, it's representation matters, because people, And mind you, there's sometimes I think things get lost in the weeds when we deal with movie stars in Hollywood and stuff like that. And what people don't realize is that representation is important, because even now that I'm thinking again, all these movies that I would watch, it was Home Alone 2 was my favorite, because like I said, I grew up in the 90s. I'm a little young. I mean, I was born in '89, but I was, young. And so Home Alone, Free Willy, a few other movies on Disney. And I noticed even today, the only time I saw a movie that was centered around a black young man for the most part, that was that went somewhat mainstream, was Soul Food, because it was kind of based around him, but then the family was kind of crazy, and so there was a mixture of representation as far as it pertains to the movies that I used to watch all the time. Was that particular movie, because all of them were fun, but it was the kid movies, the super kid movies, the box office. There wasn't any representation from it. I still got it from it. So now when I'm thinking in this modern time where movies are easier to make these days because of technology, but then again, what the issue with us now these days is that we have the ability to write and get our content out so much that we don't really think about how serious it is to write something that touches people. We just think of a cool idea sometimes and we just put it out. And it's all fun, but when it used to cost millions and millions of dollars,
back in the day,
you had to make sure it was some good stuff, or they weren't going to give you the money that you needed. So with that said, like I said, representation is important. So what are some of the things that you remember as maybe a teenage, early 20 years? Like, what was one of those plays that you either were involved in or you wrote that kind of that you just remember?
Well, I have been writing plays. I do one once a year for the last 10 years. And then I started writing journalists when I was a little girl. Didn't know it was going to turn into writing, motivate me to go into plays and just writing. What I got started because auditioning a lot in Hollywood wasn't getting me any open doors or getting me jobs. So you can't go in the front door. I said, let me go in the back, meaning let me put my own self in my plays and movies. I created this lady, Giselle, like inspiration off of Tyler Perry in my deal. He come to accept that, made him a name. So I want to be in my place. I created Giselle. She is a flip off a Black Mae West. Her characters is just like her ways, her behavior, stuff like that. So I've been doing plays. I put myself in that, and all my plays is a reflection of people's life, what's going on. And a lot of these rappers in their songs, I visualize what they're saying and apply it sometimes in my movies and plays. Matter of fact, I got a movie in process called God Diva's debut, and hopefully it will be coming out, I would say this year, by next year, because they're in process of trying to get other actors in it. One of the lead for God Divas should be Chrissy Collins. You might know her as well as Beyonce back lead vocalist singer. She's making a start out as being God Diva, giving her a break. She has sung for all of the Brestons, you name it, Beyonce. And I offered the role so she could push forward. Sometimes you get tired of being in the back and just the back. So this opportunity for her to make who she is, she can sing. And I captured the ideal of people's talent with mine, because some people can open doors for you faster than yourself. So that's what made me start really being encouraged to doing plays. I wasn't getting a lot of doors open. When I was coming up, I was getting commercials. I did that. And I did other little plays and other little shooting of TVs, but it wasn't opening the right door that I wanted. So with that being said, writing my plays and movies has really got me a long way as of now. I would encourage anybody, be patient, follow your dream, and my passion is writing plays and movies, so that's where I'm headed. Hopefully, it will lead to greater peoples in my plays. And right now, I'm Tyler Perry it all the way out. A lot of people use C-list, A-list people, but sometimes you can still sell out without using celebrities' names and stuff. So.
That's amazing, because the thing about celebrity is, in reality, it's still a person.
Right.
I've had the opportunity to work with several people as well, especially in the gospel arena. But at the same time, I realized that my personal talent was a gift as well. There are people who see me as a celebrity, and basically it's one of those things to where it's kind of like, it's really all just first of all, confidence thing within ourselves to the point to where we decide to, hey, I want to work with people that are good, even where there are people who don't even realize that they're celebrity. Yeah,
that's the point I was trying to make. Yes.
So celebrity is a title, but they had to get there because a lot of people who got there had to work their butt off, but they did it strategically, which is, and when it comes to strategy, one of my questions is, was there somebody in your life that personally, like not on the TV, because I asked you first about that, was there anybody that personally that ever took you to the side and at least gave you some good information? Or kind of said, hey, let me teach you some few things, let me show you some few things, and go from there.
Well, my acting teacher, always be with people that push you to be your best.
Absolutely.
That's the number one thing. As I was going along in my years and seeking theatrical work, seeking to open a door, of course, I talked to my acting teachers and stuff like that. You want to be around people. Like my mother also said, be around people who push you to be your best. My mother and my acting teachers. Yeah.
Mother and acting teacher. That's a beautiful relationship because, again, not everybody, we live in a negative world. We live in a negative world just because people go through a lot of different things. So to have somebody who pushes you in a positive way is a big deal because things are always turning out to, I say like life is like gravity. It's really most things are working against you more so than working for you. So having people and people in my circle, I tell them straight up, man, like if you want to be connected to me, tell me when I'm doing wrong and give me the permission to let you know when you're doing, or could be doing better. Just say, hey.
I'm like, I have a small circle of friends, and like my confidence keeps me going, and you need those type of positive people. Like I said, you want to get with people that push you to do your best. And you're going to have your haters and all of that, and they just a motivator to keep you going. And they don't hate you, they want to be like you. They so much want to be in a place to where they can't be and where they not are. But you got to keep going regardless. If you're not being talked about or being coming at, I already check myself. That's a problem. You want all of that. You really do.
What was, because there's a lot of people that's going to see this at some point, and they're going to be dealing with different things. What is something that you feel like you that was tough, but you got over in this industry, to a degree?
Well, you're going to have challenges for one thing. I mean, a lot of experience, rejection, a lot. And that's just a stepping stone to get you over. Learn from that. You don't lose. You either learn or you win. And that's it. You learn or you win. I don't lose at all. I'm either going to learn from it or either you're going to win. So one of the two, look at it that.
And that's beautiful. That's something that I adopted a few years ago after divorce. And there were so many things going on top of that. Before and after that was straining me, and I got to the point where I realized that I had a very, very bad view on what winning was. I thought winning was everything having to go my way versus saying living and learning, or like learning from it and winning, but losing. So I tell people, I haven't lost anything in years because I've always looked at it as, hey, I'm going to an end game. And just because I have a way that I want to get there doesn't mean that's the best way to get there. What matters is getting there. GPS, there's reroutes, there's detours, but my goal is to get there. And another thing I was telling my brother yesterday is that there's no fast track faster than the plan that God has.
Nobody can stop the hand of God at the door he has for you. They could try, but keep going. But see, at the end, he holds the key to everything, not man, not woman, not nobody. And that key, you just a vessel. God gonna put people in your way to make things happen for you. Those positive people, you got them. The ones that's around you that ain't working for you, don't want to get some more. Let God put the more other peoples in your life. Move those out, and don't stop going back to people that abandon you. I mean, they'll bring you down in a tough situation. That's another thing to ask your question. Watch out for those people that abandon you in the end. And I don't need no new homies.
Right,
you know.
Right. You know, anybody that's not either asset or your liability, and even me, I want to be an asset to the people that I'm around. I don't want to be in a situation where I'm always taking. I want to be in a situation where we're going, and in order to do that, we have to be positive. We have to push each other. Like I said, I interview my friends, whether they realize it or not, or people that I come in contact with, because at the end of the day, I need to know that you realize that we're in a battle against ourselves, we're battling against, you know, whomever else is gonna stand in the way. In a battle, we can't be soft out here. We got to put out good content. We have to properly critique ourselves. We have to properly just move at a place, move in one direction, and do way more together than separate, arguing, all that. We're in battle against the fact that there are people, little girls and little boys out there that are coming up behind us, and they need to see value, and we can't see value if we out here.
Let me say this. I tell people to apply that. I want to be a person that say, I was for to do this. I was for to jump off the bridge. I was for to give up till I heard from you, Sandra, seeing your story, seeing you persevere, and I didn't give up. And another thing about keep going, I tell people, whether I have a team or not, it's still a goal for me. Just say congratulations.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm definitely.
Yeah, it's still a goal.
I'm definitely with you. And that's one of the reasons why I brought you here, because I want you to be able to, cause no matter where you are, you learn something. Meaning, because you may be at a place that you don't think you are, but you are. Like the idea of creating, doing plays, writing, those are still things that sometimes we sleep on ourselves about. But there's other people that they just want to get there. And so in order for them to get there, we have to talk about the fact that, hey, even to get here, it took this, and this. It took perseverance. It took the right people around you. It took realizing that there's people who need to hear from you. That's
and mentors, and people like Tyler Perry, his story, and other. You put all that together in a pot, and with the inspiration, hold on God's hand. That's the most important thing. You cannot do. It's a journey. That's why I named my movie. It was God Deep's debut, but the writers and producers, they named it because it looked like a journey. Our life is about a journey. So keep the journey going. Don't look back, because only time you want to look back or look down is you looking at your shoes. Always look up. And Tupac, keep your head up, women, and keep going.
So I'll say this. Tell us about some stuff that you got coming up, or some recent stuff, or things like that you got coming up.
Well, I jumped off the porch and I lit the torch, and hey, I got chosen to be on this show, reality show, 50 and Flawless. I auditioned. It was a lady named Tasha Biltmore, the creator of 50 and Flawless. She took it with Little Women's of LA, Tanya Banks, and also Juicy. And they created about women's with their own lives, bring a little drama, make a creativity to the world about stories of their life. And it's such a success. A lot of celebrities seen a peep of it. They like it. They wait to hear from it. I got that. I'm on that reality show. Also, my play entitled Judgment Day is coming out. It's about this judge, his right hand, his lover, VIP, and the attorney. They contemplate schemes of bribe money, if you will, from high dollar clients, dope dealers and all of that. And Judge Zach, he's on the investigation, and his lover, VIP, is his bookkeeper for all his money that he gets from all these drug dealers and drug lords and kingpins. And one of his clients, Judge Zach had, is me, Jorzell. I haven't paid my taxes in over 3 years. I come in his courtroom, and of course he let me off. We end up having a love affair. That VIP, his lover, found out about it. So as she's been followed, the detective questioned her about it. But make a long story short, I hate to give away all the spoilers alert. She says that Jorzell is behind the organization, and they set me up, what she does, so she can have Judge Zach out to herself. But I come back like Pam Grier and get all of them, and it goes from there. And I enter his house. If I get out of jail, they thought I never was going to get out of jail. So I end up getting out of jail, and I come back to his pad, and I ask why he set me up and stuff. So it's going to be a knockout at the end. The end is the bomb. But the two components to watch for that's going to keep you on your feet is VIP and Luscious Tina. She's played by Lily McLeod. She was one of the winners on X Factor TV show. And also, I got a great cameo appearance by Bonnie DeBarge of the DeBarge. She plays the attorney in my play. Y'all don't want to miss that. She's excellent.
And when is this happening?
This is in October this year. And, you know, it's going to be great. And also, other than the play, I mentioned God Diva's debut, 50 and Flawless. I got those 3 things working in the fire for me. So look out for me. This ain't the end of me.
Absolutely. It's only the beginning. Only the beginning.
Okay.
Well, I appreciate you for coming out and speaking and letting the world know a little bit about who you are, what you plan to do, and how they can move forward. So thank you again.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for having me on the show. This is, you know, like I said, I'm a star in any room I stand in, and y'all gonna love the play Judgment Day. I have VIP tickets, and you're welcome to come get your tickets. If you want to find out more, you can go on Facebook under my name, Sandra, middle name Dee, D-E-E, Sweet, and we will be on Eventbrite, and I have more information once you know, just send me a Facebook friendship, and we'll go from there.
Perfect, perfect. Thanks for coming out.
Oh, my pleasure.
See you next time.
Next time.